Okay, cool. I think that is recording. Yes. Oh my goodness. This is exciting. So, today we're going to be talking about working from home, best habits. So, my name is Alex. I use she, they pronouns. I work at the Resource Center for Sexual and Gender Diversity, and I'm the volunteer coordinator. So, I just want to ask a couple of questions before we dive into everything. So, what have been your main struggles when working from home?
I get really distracted, like really easily.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Oh, can I go?
Yes, go, please.
Oh, I guess one of the things for me is like my lectures, I don't have like they're all pre-recorded, so it's like I like learning at my own pace. But like when it comes to sections, like I get really anxious, like tuning in and stuff, especially because everybody's just like it just shows their faces and stuff. So when it comes to like it was already hard in class to like raise your hand and participate, but now it's just like let me see if like they're gonna unmute themselves or anything like that. So I'm just like, let's see.
Yeah, it's definitely like awkward too, like being in that kind of situation where you're like, do I just start talking? Do I raise my hand on screen? Do I press raise hand? Yeah, it's a weird adjustment. Is there anything else I was struggling with, or is that like pretty much it? Just like distractions and like the kind of awkwardness in Zoom.
My Wi-Fi sucks sometimes. So
Yeah.
especially because like I have like another person that needs the Wi-Fi for school stuff, and like it only hits like really good in my room, and it's like just really it's hard. 'Cause I'm just like this Wi-Fi is too slow.
I think also like not for me when I was working at school, I would go to the library and do stuff, and that was like a space that was like really good for learning. Is like now the space that I'm learning in is also the space that I'm relaxing in and like trying to, not be stressed out in, and that's kind of hard for me to focus in that area.
Yeah, I definitely struggle with that as well. So we're gonna just dive in and talk about how we can kind of like help with those sort of things. So what I found is that like for getting distracted, um, and like I guess just like more so like planning out my day and like staying on top of everything that I have to do, like I put everything into a Google Calendar so that I can see exactly what I need to do all the time. So like I've kind of like scheduled my entire day, which has helped me a lot. And then like setting a whole bunch of reminders for like random papers that I have to write, like the midterms that I have, like the small little homeworks that count for like 5% of your grade, but are still somehow like super important all the time. Um, Putting all of that into like a Google Calendar and then like reminders as well has helped me to like make it easier to like be a student and like have that sort of like schedule that I had when I was going to class for real. Um, and then keeping it all in like one calendar is also helpful because then you can just see like everything, and instead of having it in like three separate places, then like you know what you're supposed to be doing and there's like nothing that's really missing. So that's been very helpful for me. And then also Google Calendar like sets reminders, so like you can see things like 10 minutes before, 30 minutes before, an hour before, or whatever the case may be. So like if you know that you have to do homework for like a specific class, you could do it like the night before that specific class, and you can just see it and it'll remind you and it'll be cool. Yay. um and so like what you were saying before, Tatum, of like having the library to go to is like a study space, and that was like a designated study space, and like how you have to now like study and relax sort of in the same space. What has helped me has been like separating my like workspaces, like eating spaces, relaxing spaces, and just like I don't know, whatever random other things that I do. So like I try not to do class in bed that often, which is also difficult in itself because like I know that like you can just wake up and turn on your computer and just be in class. So like that temptation is very much there, and like I'm having a hard time like getting away from that temptation of just like staying in my bed literally all day on my laptop. which for me is not healthy because I just can't lay there that long and feel okay. So I've tried to like set up different workspaces for myself. So I'll do different classes in different spaces, kind of like what I've seen on Twitter and like random memes of like, wow, I can't wait to go to the living room for poli-sci. So like I do that. Like I go to the living room for my Italian class. I go to my desk for one of my French classes. I come into this empty room that I have at the moment while my roommate isn't here. For like meetings and stuff. So like I've tried to like separate my workspaces as much as I can so that there's like always a designated space for something. And then I've tried to keep my bed just for like sleeping only. And then eating has also been like a difficult one because like I've been doing like a lot of work like in the kitchen living room kind of area. Like it's all sort of just melded into one. So like we have a countertop and then there's chairs and then there's the living room like just behind it. So it's like sort of all in one. So like I just try and eat like on the countertop and that's it instead of just like moving around like I would do before. So once again, like designating those spaces and then relaxing, like again, it's difficult when you are in a small space. So like I've tried to just like keep that to like either my bed or the couch or something. Which I know is like not feasible for everybody as well, of like, you know, super separating them. But that's definitely helpful because like you can be in like work mode or you can be in like relax mode. And like I feel like if you have two different spaces, then like you're more okay for that. Like you can have relax mode in bed and then work mode like on a desk, on the floor, whatever the case may be. So what do your classes look like? Like are they all Zoom classes that you have to just attend? Are they recorded and you can just watch them whenever? I don't know if there's another option, but what what do your classes look like?
My classes, like none of my classes have like Zoom lectures,
Mm-hmm.
but all of the sections are the Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that looks like.
Mine are kind of both. So we'll have like pre-recorded lectures posted, and then we'll also have live lectures.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have like written notes. It's a lot, but yeah.
Have you been going to the Zoom lectures or have you been watching the like recorded lectures after the fact?
I go to the live lectures because it kind of motivates me to like get up, have coffee, and like start my day, even if like maybe I'm not paying attention as much, I'll be doing something relevant to schoolwork.
Mm.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do as well, just like keeping to the regular schedule that I would have. So like what I wrote down, you know, like try to keep to the same class schedule that you have on Gold because like what you said, like it does motivate you to like get up and be up. And that has also helped me like kind of maintain a schedule and not like drive myself insane just being inside. And then it's also helped me stay on top of my schoolwork because like if I just watch the lectures, like, you know, I'd probably just go down that slippery slope of like, oh, I'll just watch a lecture later. Oh, I'll watch these other two later. Oh, I'll watch three later. Oh, there's four. Like it'll just keep going and it won't be beneficial for me. So like I would try and advise to like stay in the regular class schedule that you have, even if you watch it later in the day, like, you know, try and keep it as close as possible. So again, kind of like what I was talking about before with like the Google Calendar and stuff of like scheduling your day. What I found is also helpful is like getting dressed and making breakfast or having coffee. And you know, you just put on a shirt and well, I'm ready to go to school instead of like being in pajamas all day and like then I'm ready for bed at all times. Like I'm not really in school/work mode. And then like keeping my regular school routine has also helped me to like stay on schedule and like I'm doing things that I want to be doing. because like I do like to go to school, and like not being able to physically go has been difficult. So like having these small things of like, okay, I'm gonna get dressed and I'm gonna have coffee and it's gonna be great and I'm gonna start my day, then that has been like helpful for me. And then also like staying clear about like your school and work hours, and then like your personal time, which I also know like as a college student, you know, we blur the lines a lot. Like, you know, we've all pulled like all-nighters or like semi all-nighters or stayed up until 2 a.m. to like do homework. And all have done that thing with like, you know, I just work better at night, so I'll start this at 10. It's fine. But I feel like now it's a lot easier to become like unproductive or ineffective in like our school and work stuff, just because we have like all this time at home where we're like, well, if I don't do it like within the next hour, it's like not that important. But then again, like for me, that does slip to like, oh, if I don't do it now, then I could just do it later. If I don't do it today, I could just do it tomorrow. And it just gets pushed off longer and longer, which hasn't been helpful for me. So like having times that are like designated for like school and work hours. So my latest class finishes at 6:15. So I also finish all of my like I finish my RCSGD work by 6:15, and then homework I give myself until like 8 p.m. So then I can just have that time to myself like afterwards to just do things. And like, yeah, it stretches a little bit, and I'm sure that it'll vary like once everything starts like snowballing a lot more and like midterms come up. But like as of right now, you know, like that's been like a pretty decent amount of time, because I do have all this space in between as well to do like either RCSGD work or school work. And then like what I said before as well, of like choosing a dedicated workspace. So like, you know, just being at a table all day and it's like you're in an office. So fun. And then scheduling time for yourself of like, you know, breaks, time to eat, FaceTime with friends, whatever the case may be. And then working on time management is also like pretty helpful in these times too, because like, again, you know, you're like, well, I could do it in an hour. So like a nice way to like sort of stay on track of that is like doing the Pomodoro technique, which is you do 25 minutes of like hardcore studying of like whatever. So like you do 25 minutes of one thing, and it's like 25 minutes of I'm going to read this article that I have to read for this class. And you do that for 25 minutes, and then you take a 5-minute break, you do it for another 25, and you take another 5-minute break, and it just continues. And there's like a couple apps that can keep you on track with that too. And you could just like look them up, like the App Store or something. And like there's a whole bunch of different ones. And then if there's like something that's really daunting that you don't really want to work on, like, and it doesn't have to just be for like school, but like it could be like cleaning, like you need to clean out the fridge because it's starting to smell really gross or something since one of your housemates moved out. And you do that for 5 minutes. So you set a timer, you clean out your fridge for 5 minutes, or you do whatever it is for 5 minutes. And then after that 5 minutes is done, you can either do another 5 minutes or you can stop. And then at least you've like started something and you've done something. And then again, like going back to apps, like Pocket Points kind of keeps you off your phone, because you go onto the app and you set like a timer for yourself. So like you do 30 minutes of work, and if you pick up your phone, then you lose the points that you just made. And like the points you can spend on like random stuff like Cinnabar at Woodstocks, which I guess is not super helpful at this moment, but it was helpful before. And then like having like a to-do list. So like kind of like the Google Calendar as well, of like, okay, these are all the things I need to accomplish today. You just see it in front of your face and you can just cross things off. And like starting small, of like putting stuff like brush my teeth, get dressed, make breakfast, coffee, whatever it is. And then you can just like cross those things off. And then that's something that like you've accomplished for the day. And that is good, because like no matter how small the accomplishment is, like it is always good to like feel like you've done something. So like sometimes it is hard to just get out of bed and brush your teeth or like take a shower or something. So like doing that, I think, can also help bring in like positive feelings and stuff, which is always nice. So speaking of positive feelings, how have we practiced self-care during this time?
Oh, I'll go.
Yeah.
Usually like I've done like what you were saying earlier about how like keeping to your like class schedule. Usually I try to do that. Like if I have any lectures to do, like I do them during that time. So usually my latest like section ends at like 6.
Mhm.
So by that time, like I don't have anything else to do because like I have like really big gaps. So I tend to do like most of my work in between those gaps. So like by 6, I'm basically done with like everything. And then like I just come to my room and like I either play the Switch or I watch Netflix or something, and that's usually like my way of self-caring. Or like if it's the weekend, like where like I haven't been using my brain as much, I will build puzzles. Yes.
Yeah, I feel like kind of the same thing. Like I'll watch a movie or like a show, or like even just like sitting outside for like 10 minutes is really nice just because like we're trapped a little bit right now. Um, and so like I'll just kind of sit outside on like my porch or whatever and just kind of like look, realize that like it's okay, like kind of de-stress. And also like just baking or something, baked banana bread. It's good.
Not the I've been doing like the same things as well, like trying to be outside a little bit. And I'm a very like social person, extroverted, so like I need a lot of talking to people, like interaction with people. So I've been FaceTiming my friends a lot, which has also helped. And then like cooking stuff that I like, or just doing stuff to like make me happy. That's been pretty nice because everything is changing and it's stressful. So like having something that you can go back to is really nice. So keep up the self-care. So like what I said before, like very extroverted. So like for me, it's pretty imperative to like stay connected with like my friends and my family, because otherwise I'm just going to self-isolate accidentally, and that's just gonna like send me into a downward spiral, which I just cannot do. So like I've been trying to do like Netflix parties, but I'm very not tech savvy, so I haven't figured out the plugin yet. But I've tried it, and I've been on FaceTime while watching things. I just haven't figured out like the Netflix party plugin part yet. I've also started making TikToks. That's been pretty fun too. And like you can do those with your friends too, which I think is pretty cute. So the RCSGD has a TikTok. Fun fact, please follow us.
Really?
Yeah. And so Helen is making a TikTok with all of us, and like it's just a cute way for us to like kind of see each other interact with each other again without like actually being next to each other. So like just having stuff like that where like you can do something silly with your friends, like doesn't matter what it is, like as long as you're having fun and you're interacting, then like that's something cute that you could do. Also talking to your housemates, like that I feel like that's pretty underrated, but it's kind of nice to like get out of your room and just be like, oh, I've just been alone all day, let me go talk to my housemate real quick. And like if your housemate is your family or something, or your dog, like have a conversation with them real quick, just see what's up. And just having like that human interaction, I think, is like pretty important, because we're weirdly quarantined, and like I don't know, it's just a weird time. So I think that like talking to people who are also sharing like the same difficulties as you is beneficial, because you do understand what everybody's going through. I mean, to a certain extent, like like you're not really gonna understand what everybody's going through, but like there is a shared bond of like, yes, we are all stuck inside, we're having to like be in close quarters with each other, let's just check in and see how we are. Moving, super, super important. I found that I just get really, really stiff if I'm not moving all day, and I've just been like on my laptop all day on my random Zoom meetings or Zoom classes or anything else that's on Zoom. So like doing stretches at your table, which we'll actually go over, I think, in like a couple of weeks. And it's just like light stretches too, like you can just do like little shoulder stretches like that. Like my elbow, I think, just popped. And that's something that like feels pretty good. And then that just like sort of gets you moving, gets your blood pumping a little bit. Going for a walk is also nice because, being outside, like, we can still kind of go outside. So, like, that's something that's available and is pretty nice to do. Um, and it'll, like, clear your mind too, which is also very nice. Doing some exercise, like, whatever that looks like, just get your blood moving a little bit. If it's just like, wiggling your shoulders or something, then, like, that's fine. But, like, as long as you're moving, you're not just, like, being stiff. And then, like, using a standing desk is also helpful because you're not just, like, sitting and hurting your back. And I have incredibly bad posture, so sitting all day is really not helping anything. So, like, just standing up and, like, doing a class standing up or doing, like, 10 minutes of work standing up has been beneficial because, like, I'm not just trapped underneath the desk with my legs not moving all day. Making food, you're also moving a lot when you make food. Like, you gotta, like, walk back and forth between the fridge and the stove and all of that fun stuff. So that's pretty helpful as well because then you're also concentrated on something too. It's like something other than like school or work or whatever it is, and it's something for yourself. Painting you can do too, like you're moving your arms around and stuff. And so that's more movement that you could do that isn't like necessarily exercise or going outside or anything like that. Like you can still be inside but still be like moving in a way that is not just sitting. And then like doing more self-care stuff, which I think is good. So like playing the Switch, you're moving your thumbs. It's a great time. And yeah, self-care is always important. So like for me, like the movement has been pretty helpful just to like just stretch like a little bit while I'm doing stuff. And that's been like a self-care thing that I do like while I'm in class or while I'm on meetings. So it's been pretty good. And then like the most important for all of this is honestly giving yourself a break because I mean, as far as I know, like 3 of us are all like full-time students. So like we still have the set amount of units that we have to take. We still have all of the work that goes with it. Like it hasn't diminished just because we're online. Like it's still quite heavy. So like giving yourself a break is like pretty imperative. So like again, like going for a walk and just clearing your head, like that's like a small exercise and it'll release endorphins and it'll make you feel good. Watching the sunset, I said that it like puts everything into perspective, but like I don't know. I mean, it's just like nice to just sit outside and watch the sunset because like you feel the sun on you, and it's something that's like chill, and it's sort of like just giving yourself a break from like the real world, I guess, and just sort of like being one with the sunset. Sunbathing is also really nice because you get all this vitamin D in you, and that is awesome. It feels so good. Like it was weird. I didn't go outside for like 2 weeks, and I was like, I forgot what the sun felt like, and that it felt really good. And I didn't realize that that was something that I was missing. So like just doing like small things, like going to sit outside for like 10 minutes, like that feels like you're also recentering on yourself, which is really important in this time too, because you don't get like the regular schedule that you have or that you had before. So like you don't get to like bike back from class or walk back from class or just have like those small moments to yourself. So like doing something that makes you happy also will help you like recenter in that way. Like I really like to bike back down DP so that I could watch the sunset on my way home from school. And I would just play music and I would just be one with the sunset and the ocean and my music. And that was something that like I really enjoyed, which I can still kind of do now, I think, as long as I'm like 6 feet apart from people. So I did that the other day, actually. Like I just biked down DP and then I biked back and it felt really good. So like something small like that you can just sort of keep going back to that like made you happy before will make you happy again. Like I think that that's pretty important. So what is something that you can commit yourself to doing? Like whether that's putting everything in a Google Calendar, committing to self-care, what else did I say? Scheduling your day. Any of those things. Thoughts?
I feel like I could commit to Google Calendar. I really like putting things down and writing so that I'm committed to it.
Yeah, I also like doing the Google Calendar. I just like the colors. Yeah, so then like putting them like, and then like I also like the little like 30-minute or like 15-minute beforehand. So then I'm just like I get mentally prepared
Mhm.
for like what I'm gonna do next.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually like that's a big thing, like what you said of like getting mentally prepared for whatever. So like my reminder or timer is set for 10 minutes before. So I'm like, okay, I have 10 minutes to like go pee before class, make coffee, make some small snack. So like I have like those 10 minutes to myself as well. And that's also been helpful to just have like that time kind of scheduled in sort of by accident of like, okay, this is 10 minutes that I have before I need to do anything. And it's just 10 minutes of like emptiness. And I think that scheduling time to also do absolutely nothing is also pretty crucial. I mean, like, you don't need to schedule a pee break, but like, you're still probably going to take it within those 10 minutes kind of thing. And I think that that's nice to also have like that leeway there of like, I can do whatever in these 10 minutes. So exciting. Yeah. And that's how I've been looking at it, so that I'm still excited to go to my class afterwards. That is the end of my little slideshow. I don't know how to stop my screen sharing, so let's see. That's how I stop my screen share. So how are we feeling?
That's good.
Yeah,
Like
good.
some more habits for working from home now,
Yeah.
and like things that you can just sort of implement into your day.
Yeah, I think like the separating space thing is gonna help me. And then also like putting like I already have my classes in my Google Calendar, but like I don't really schedule the little things. But if I actually like time block my day out, I probably will get more done than I am right now.
Y'all have any questions?
Oh.
Oh, and if you're about to say something, yeah, feel
Oh
free.
yeah, I was like, okay, never mind. I won't say anything. Yeah, no, like the separating spaces is like it's like something that like I tend to do now, especially because like going to therapy, like one of the things that I learned is that like I was having a hard time sleeping in bed because I would always do my homework in bed. So like then like your brain just like unconsciously like relates your bed to stress.
Mhm.
So then like now I just like make the couch my stress point. Yeah, and then like I'm good at like putting stuff in my calendar, but like I actually like never know like what I actually like have assigned to do.
Mhm.
So I think that's like something that I'm gonna start doing just so I know my due dates.
It's like seeing all those deadlines, like for me, it makes them real. Like putting them in, I'm like, oh, okay, so I really have a midterm. Like I really have a quiz. I really have to do this homework. Um, Instead of it just being like a concept of like, yeah, I'm in school and I have things to do. Next episode. So just like seeing that and like seeing how long I have before it. So like I have my first Italian quiz next week and it's in my calendar and I'm like seeing it. I'm like, oh, okay, so I should probably study for that this weekend. So like already just having like that preparation that like I will be studying for that this weekend, um, or like I will be doing something to work towards that quiz this weekend. Like I think that that's been helping me, and then I can also like stay on top of my stuff. Anything else? Sweet. Okay, well, I'm going to end the recording, I think. Let's see.